Hi friends, welcome to STARRYS. Yeah, that's me, my Back to Eden garden, and my next step in my tutorial of how to change your conventional garden method into a Back to Eden garden. So we've already walked through how to plant your vegetable plants in a Back to Eden garden. And this last week we did our tomato plants, and now today I'm going to walk you through how to start seeds in your Back to Eden garden. So find some seeds and let's get to it. Okay, let's get started. Now, I want you to look at this space right now. When I look at my Back to Eden garden and setting it up, I'm really not into rows and all that because a Back to Eden garden really does reflect nature. But I want to utilize every single square foot of my garden. So that's why I do companion gardening. I do kind of a revised method of, it's like a square foot gardening where it's called intense gardening, where you use every square inch, every piece of ground. Because the thing with the Back to Eden method is it can sustain a lot of plants in a very small area because the soil is so rich. It's being fed. Just remember, underneath the wood chips is a biodiverse environment of fungi and good bacteria, and it's alive. It's creating soil. It's not like a conventional garden where it's all the plant is actually drawing all the nutrients up, and then you have to keep putting fertilizer on, and every year you have to till, and you have to add and add and add. The Back to Eden garden method actually feeds the soil, and then you can put your manure and layer that on top too. But what I'm saying is the soil is richer, and you don't have to worry about the soil ever becoming depleted, and that's why you can do really intensified gardening. And think outside the box. You can plant just about anywhere, and you'll find that once you start planting, things start growing. Because it's open pollination, you'll see in between the where you walk in the rows, things start to grow. You know, you'll have a rogue potato plant over there. You'll have a rogue zucchini over there. Trust me, you'll have that. But what we want to do is I am going to do my carrots, and I like to do my carrots along the outside of a lot of my plants, and I don't want to do it too close because tomato plants get really big, but I want to utilize the space that I have. So you'll see when I push back the wood chips how close it'll be to my established plants. All right, my friends, so what I'm going to do is just kind of rough up where I'm going to put my carrots, and I'm going to use this good old-fashioned, look at that, it's like an old-fashioned antique tiller. And this is where I'm going to put my carrots, right along where my tomatoes are. And as you see, I brushed back. You have to brush back the wood chips in order to do that. Look at how great that worked. Wow. Pretty cool. See how I did dig right into the soil with that little tiller. And for carrots, I'm just going to loosen up that soil, but all the wood chips are moved back out of the way. And that's what you want to do when you are establishing any seeds. With the plants, it's a little bit different. You just dig that hole and you can bring those wood chips right up to that established plant. But not so when you are starting things from seed. And here you go with your carrots or kale or whatever it is. You're just going to simply spread your seeds out on top of that soil, and then you're going to cover it with more soil. Okay, now all the carrot seeds are on top, and then I'm simply going to take a nice loose layer of soil, not chips, and I'm going to cover it up. And I hope you friends remember any type of garden method. I hope you're I hope you're considering this Back to Eden garden method. But just remember succession planting. If you want to feed yourself throughout the growing season, you'll plant now some carrots, and then in a couple more weeks you need to come back and plant some more. And the same thing with all your other produce. I've always done succession planting besides intense square foot gardening. And I tell you what, I get the most bang for my buck throughout the growing season. And that's the point, right? We want to keep growing and feeding ourselves throughout the growing season, all the way into fall. Okay, now, then what you need to do is either put a light layer of straw on here, because you don't want to just leave it, conventional gardens, yeah. I know they just plant the carrots and they just leave it like this, but I don't want to wash these seeds away, and I do like using straw, and then the straw will decompose into the ground, and then I'll put my wood chips on there when they start sprouting. Okay, and then you're gonna just lightly water that area. And the beauty of the Back to Eden garden method is once you get those wood chips on those plants, this watering is going to become so minimal. There we go. And then I'm going to put my straw in. And there you go, my friends. Voila! It doesn't take long. And then keep checking back, because then we're going to go to the next step in planting and just getting your Back to Eden garden fully established for the season to come. All right, God bless, and thanks for joining me in my new Back to Eden garden. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. It's exciting.